Hello everyone, this is Yogesh and welcome back to the channel. So welcome back to this Java series, and today we are going to discuss about loops. That is, what is for loop, what is while loop, what is do while loop, why we are going to use this loops. That thing we are going to discuss today. So be with us till the end, and if you're new to the channel, then please subscribe this channel, right? So let's start. But before starting, so if you have not seen the previous videos of this Java series, I will highly recommend you all to go and check those series, because if you will directly start this video, I don't think you will be able to understand if you're a beginner, right? So if you start from series episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, so like that, if you will watch, then you will able to understand this in a much better way. But if you know those things, then it's no issue. If you want to know only the loops, then you can see this video, right? So let's start. So there are three types of loops. That is the for loop, one is while loop, and the other is do while loop. Okay, so before jumping to this types, that is what is for, what is while, what is do while loop, before that I want to tell you that why we are going to use loops. So for example, you want to print a number from 1 to 1000, right? If you want to print numbers from 1 to 1000, so what you will do? You will do like this: system.out. Like if I go to the editor, right? So you will do like this: system.out.println. You will print 1, then you will do print 2, then you will do print 3. So you're not going to do like this, right? Because it will be a very lengthy code, right? You're going to do system.out.println 1 2 3 4 till 1000 times, right? But if I will tell you, please do that thing in 2 to 3 lines, then how you will do, right? And this will be very like it will become very large. Code will become very large. You have to print 1000 times, right? So this will look like a labor work, right? So to reduce those things, to replace those things, we are having a loops. Okay, so to print lot of numbers, to take inputs lot of numbers, we will be using loops. So let's start with the for loop. So basically, what is the syntax of for loop? Let's see that. So basically, you have to write for, right? So you have to take a variable. For example, I is equals to, I'm starting with 1, so I'm initializing I is equals to 1. You can take this outside the for loop as well, but let's take inside. You have to write a condition. That is, for example, I is less than is equals to 1000. Okay, so let me write this and then I will explain you what does this means. Okay, so I have written a code, fine. So what is the steps? So this is my first step, that is first I is initialized, that is I is equals to 1. After that, this condition will be checked. This is step number 2. Whether this condition is true or false, whether I is less than equals to 1000 or not. So currently I is 1, so 1 is less than equals to 1000, right? Now step 3 is this part, the processing wala part. So in the processing wala part, we are printing I, right? We are printing I, so this will be done. And after that, step number 4, that is the increment. I think in the previous video I have already explained you what is the increment operator and decrement operator. So you can write I plus plus as well as I is equals to I plus 1 as well, right? So it's your wish. So I think you have understood the steps, right? This is step 1, this is step 2. Condition will be checked, then the internal work of this loop will be going to happen, and after the increment will happen, right? So I am written int I equals to 1, so you can write outside the loop as well, that is int I, and directly here you can write I is equals to 1. So there are 2 ways, but maximum of them follow this pattern only, that is they initialize inside the loop only. So let's try to dry run this, like instead of printing like this, let's run a loop for int I is equals to 1, I is less than is equals to, let's print till 10, because it will the output will become too long to print 1000 data, right? So let's print I. Okay, so simply what I have written for int I is equals to 1, step number 1, it will check if I is less than equals to 10 or not. If it is, it will print the statements and it will increment after that. Let's run the code and let's see the output. So in the output, you can see that 1 to 10, all the information are printed. So if I write it as, for example, 20, so 20 data will be printed. So we can see in the console, so you can see that 20 data are printed, right? So I think for loop is clear with you all. So let's discuss about while loop and do while loop, right? So let's talk one by one, right? Let's talk one by one. So if I talk about while loop, right? So I will go through the difference as well. What is while, what is do while. So here how I can perform the same thing. So you can write like this. So let's write in the code only. Then I think it will be better in a very better way. So you can compare as well, right? So this is my for loop, right? So let's write a while loop. So let me minimize this. So how you are going to write? So I will take the value of I as 1 here, right? I have taken like this. Okay, I will write this while keyword. Inside this while loop, I will write the condition, that is I is less than equals to 10. I have written the condition. I want to print the data. I will print the informations. So I am printing this. Okay, now I have to increment as well. So I am incrementing the I, because now see what is going here in this part. This is part of a while loop. So how it's happening? So first I have taken I equals to 1. Why I'm not taking I inside this while loop? Because otherwise it is a block, right? This while is a block, so we have to increment it as well, right? So for that I have taken it outside, right? So I is taken as 1. And because in while loop only I'm checking the condition, so there is no option inside this while loop to take that I, correct? So I'm checking if this condition is true or false. If it is true, then we will go inside, we will print the information, we are incrementing the I, right? So here the steps are line by line only, that is this is step number 1, this is step number 2, again this is step number 3, and increment step number 4. Because in for loop it was little different, because it was like this was first, then second, then third, then fourth. But in while loop it's not like that. It's line by line order only. This is part 1, then line number 2 will be executed, and 3, then 4, like this only. So I think while loop is clear with you all. Let's see the do while loop. So basically do while loop, I don't think many of them use, because I personally don't use do while loop, right? So let's see. So the thing is same, like I've taken the I. Okay, now I have to write a do, correct? I'm writing a do. Inside this I have to print the information. So I'm printing, I have printed, I have incremented, okay, and here I am writing while I less than is equals to 10. Okay, so now you will ask, like, it's looking some different. Like in while loop we are checking first, in do while loop first you're printing the things, then we are checking what is going to happen here. So yeah, first we have taken I as an input, correct? Now I'm writing do here. Inside this block, right? Inside this block, first I am printing the information and I'm incrementing it, right? And after doing all those things inside this do, after that I am checking the condition. So I think one difference you are getting in this, like in while loop we are checking the condition first, and if condition is true then only we are printing. But in do while loop we are at least one time we are printing. Okay, whether condition is true or false, it doesn't matter, we will be printing at least one time, and after that we will start checking, correct? So let me comment this part. Like I wanted to show you this while loop first. Like taken this, let's run this code and let's check the output for this while loop. Like I didn't show you, right? So this was 1 to 10. Okay, now let's comment this out and let's check for this do while loop, right? So in this do while loop, what I'm doing, I'm running this code. So you can see that 1 to 10, again it will be printed, right? Now if I write here I is less than equal to 0, right? So I was 1 first. So you can say that I is less than equal to 0. Is it true or false? Is it obvious about it is false, right? I is not smaller than 0. I is less than equal to 0. No, it's not, right? Because I is 1. 1 is not less than equal to 0. Now, what I'm doing, so you will see that this will be executed at least once, and after that this while loop will be executed, right? And after that the condition will be false and we are going to come out of this do while loop. So let's run this code and you can see the output that only 1 is printed. What does it mean? Like while loop was not true, right? It was false condition, but then also we can see that at least one time our code is executing the inner part, right? So that's a difference between, like, if you wanted to see the same thing here as well. So let's write a condition here as I less than equals to 0. So let's run this. So you will see an empty output, nothing will be printed. So you can see that there is nothing printed in the output, right? So this was the main difference. So if you want to see a main difference, so I will write here, let me write here while loop. This is while and this is do while, right? If I write like this, so you can see that it is an entry control loop. because it is checking the condition first, right? And this is exit control loop. Okay, so this will check condition first, and this will run at least one times, right? So execute at least once and then check, and after that it will check, right? So this is a basic difference between while and do while loop, right? So I guess this while loop, do while loop and for loop is clear with you all, right? So this was everything related to the loops. So if you face difficulty like you have to print a lot of information, you have to take input a lot of information, in that case you are going to use loops. Yeah, so that's it for today's video. I think you have understood everything. If you're new to our channel, then please subscribe, and if you love this video, then do like this video, right? So let's meet in another video. Tab tak ke liye, bye bye.